Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 29 of Mistconceptions. I'm your host, David White, and I hope you are all having a wonderful week. The Misconceptions crew just had a really fun week last week. Zach and Tessa, for the first time, were able to come out to the camp where it all began for us, where I met Carrie and I met Jaime, and we all kind of met each other. And it was really neat getting to share this important time and place in our lives with Zach and Tessa. And even though we sweated and I played too much basketball and got a little sick in the middle of the week, it was still great that we got to share this with Zach and Tessa. And somehow we came out closer at the end of the week, which I didn't even know was possible. But it was just a really great week. I hope that you are spending time with your friends, even away from the game table. We are a gaming people and we like to game around the table, but it's always great to get your friends away from the gaming table, see what the group dynamics are, and just have fun outside. Now on to something that is going to affect misconceptions in the future. Jaime, our beloved Bill, is going to be moving back home to get a job and to move in with family and set up a life back in Houston. This is drastically going to change the way we do misconceptions because we live 7 hours away from Houston. We have recorded the season 1 finale as of right now as I'm saying this, but Bill's story isn't done. And I really don't want to see Bill leave the show before his story is done. But we also do not want to transition to recording over Skype. One, that would be a hassle to try to figure out how to do. But two, I think something really special about our group and our recording is that we're all at the same table together and we're able to interact with each other more organically and naturally. So we do not want to transition to doing Skype recordings. That means packing up our recording equipment and going on the road, whether it means Jaime coming back up here, us going down there, meeting somewhere in the middle. We're not sure yet. But one thing is for certain, that there will be money involved with us moving our equipment and driving and gas and maybe even staying in hotels and renting out spaces to record. So I have a challenge for you, our listeners. If you like this show and you want to see it keep going past the season 1 finale, which we have already recorded, which was really great. It was super emotional, and there were definitely tears shed, but I'm not going to spoil anything in the season 1 finale. If you want to see misconceptions keep being made, please, please, please go to Patreon and help support us there. In the next few days and weeks, I will be changing our goals to kind of reflect this shift in our focus, because before I had we would get a recording studio, which would have been nice, but now if most of our recording is going to be midway between here and Houston, and if we're going to have to be traveling back and forth, that doesn't really make sense. So kind of making that cost into hotel fees and gas reimbursement and things like that. But anyways, we want to keep making misconceptions. We love making misconceptions. But honestly, us traveling every month and spending gas every month to record, every few weekends and things like that to keep this show coming out at a steady pace, we just can't. We can't afford that. So I'm on my figurative knees begging you, our listeners, to help us out. We have well over 100 listeners, but we only have 13 patrons right now on Patreon. And, even with those 13 patrons, we're almost dollars away from our first goal of being fully funded and being able to afford a website and things like that. And so I am very serious when I say if all of our listeners went and donated just $1 a month. $2 would be great. $5 would be fantastic. And even above that would be amazing. Even if all our listeners went in and pledged $1 a month to our Patreon, we would be able to hit our goal and, the secondary goals after that. Of course, the Misconceptions crew wishes Jaime the best in him moving back to Houston. I think, personally, it'll be a really good change for him. But I'm not going to lie. I'll be selfish and say that I kind of don't want him to move because it's been really great having one of my oldest and best friends, here in the same city with me for the past couple of years again. But I'm not going to be selfish and keep him from making a life change that he needs to make. So we're going to be restructuring our goals on Misconceptions. We're going to be restructuring the way we record Misconceptions. But please, if you like Misconceptions, if you want to see us keep making this show, please go to Patreon and donate any amount you can to keep this show going. Those of you that are already pledging, I thank you so much for pledging to support us. Those of you that are kind of at the $1 level, maybe now's the time, if you can, I understand if you can't, but if you can, to bump up to the $2 level, to the $5 level. At the $2 level, you get a shout out, and at the $5 level, you get access to the Misconceptions After Hours. But I feel like I've beat this. I feel like I've beat this dead horse long enough. We want to keep Misconceptions going. Hopefully, you want to keep Misconceptions going. So please help us do that. And along that same vein, I would like to give a Patreon shout out to John Myers. John has been talking to us on Facebook. He's given us a lot of good feedback and ideas that Tessa has really appreciated. And of course, Carrie loves that Esther is his favorite character. But John, thank you for pledging $30 a month on Patreon. You are a lifesaver. I love you. You will be getting your signed core rulebook and your shirt and your Misconceptions poster. All right, this has gone on a little long. I've begged you enough for your money. But let's get back to that show you like,
What is happening? The mob boss knows my dad. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Also, I don't remember everything he said to me. Everything seems so dang fuzzy, and I can't... Oh, why did we not see that coming? How did he get shot without us knowing? We were supposed to be here to protect him. Everything's going to hell. Ugh. And everything is so fuzzy. And this stupid dress and heels. Ugh.
So this episode opens up with a dark screen. Everything is black. We hear the cock of a gun. We hear an exhale of breath. We hear the thunder of a bullet being fired from the rifle. We hear glass being shattered. We hear screaming. We hear mass pandemonium. And then the lights come up. We are back in the William H. White Convention Center. People are scattering, screaming, running back and forth. Everyone is trying to get to cover. Up on stage, Pip Hamill's suit is stained red as red crimson starts to spill out around his chest. Blood starts to dribble down the corner of his lips, and he starts staggering and falling backwards. What are the four of you doing? You two... Faye and Esther were the ones that saw what happened. You're the only ones in the ballroom. Chairs are being pushed out of the way. Even tables are being pushed down.
Right. Pip's been shot. And then I'm immediately scanning the room to see if I can see Deacon.
Okay. Deacon is the first person on stage. He leaps up and grabs Deacon's body, and he's like taking off his coat. He's screaming, "Please, please, a doctor, please!"
Faye grabs Esther's arm, pulls her down, says, "Esther, get down!" And we like hunker down on the ground to avoid anything else, and kind of like not army crawl, but like are just moving low towards the stage. Faye is going to have vines come, but she's going to have them come from like the outside in, trying to be a little bit discreet about it, and so it can't be connected to her. But she's going to have vines come and wrap around his wound to keep it from bleeding more.
Okay. Roll a...
Change the game.
I guess roll a change the game.
Do I need to create a story tag first with the change the game, or...
No, this is just to see what you can do.
Okay. Plant growth, I think, is the only thing I have.
And I'm going to add a concrete jungle to this.
I hate you.
So -1, so for a +0. Go ahead.
Go for it. 9.
9. All right. So you get 1 juice. What are you doing?
Do I get my attention? Because he used my concrete jungle?
Oh, you sure do.
Yes! That's my 3 attention for that one.
Nice. So you get to choose a new tag. Or a new improvement. I haven't talked about this yet, and we can talk about it during the Geek Out.
Yeah.
But you get more things besides just a power tag. Anyway, so what are you using your juice on?
I never know exactly how to do these. Either I'm creating a story tag of, like, wrapped wound, or I'm reducing the status of the wound. I don't know if the story tag has to come before the status.
Okay. I will say that you can be reducing the status. So you reduce it by 1. So these vines, since you didn't roll high enough, they just burst through the windows and come down the wall and shoot towards the stage. People are already panicking as these vines snake in between their feet, trip them, knock over tables and things like that. They crawl up the side of the stage and start wrapping around his chest. Deacon kind of starts freaking out and like, oh God. He grabs the vines and starts trying to tear them apart. Stop! No, you won't take him. He's the future. He's gonna save this city. He's trying to break them as they're wrapping around his chest. Ren and Bill, what are you doing?
I want to say that Ren, it just like throws open the door of the van because he hears the shot and he sees Pip Hamill fall down. And so he is looking for kind of the glint of a sniper rifle from one of the buildings just to have some kind of idea in an attempt to, like, I guess my thought process is to stop the shooter.
Okay, so you kick open the SUV back doors. You scan the rooftops, and across the street from the convention center, there's a 4-story business building, and you see the glint of some sort of reflection, almost like off of the scope of a rifle, from the roof of that building.
So I'm going to say that he just says, guys, I'm going after the shooter, and then just bolts towards that building.
Bill, what about you?
So I found the back door, right?
Yeah. You had like just found the perfect path to get him out.
Then
right as everything started screaming and Esther shouted, Pip was shot, and all that.
All right, well, I'm going to sprint back towards the ballroom.
You sprint, make your way, you push your way like through the servants, the waiting staff, and like even some of the upper elite are coming through, just panicking, getting out of the way. So you like shove your way through. Get back to the ballroom.
Do I hear an ambulance or anything?
Not yet. Not above like the screaming and everything.
I'm going to, like, while I'm running towards the stage, call 911.
Okay. So you are calling 911. All right. So up on stage, as soon as the shot hit Pip, these bodyguards jumped on stage and covered Mayor Corallo and started escorting him down. So actually, as you're like running out, you see Mayor Corallo and his bodyguards like muscling their way through the crowd, trying to get to the service area to get out back assuming where also something is waiting for them to be escorted out. Faye, you and Esther are like ducking underneath a table. You feel your vines have wrapped around Pip. They have stopped some of the bleeding, but he's going to need some intensive care, just from what you saw and just from what you can feel through the vines. Esther, what are you doing?
I'm going to have my phone out and call Javi.
Hey, Esther, what's up?
Have you heard what's going on at the Mayoral Gala?
Is this screaming in the background? What's going on?
Pip's been shot.
God. All right, we're on our way. Are you safe?
I'm as safe as I can be.
All right, we're on our way. Esther, stay safe. I'm coming. Hangs up. You said you were both, once you had wrapped him up, were running both up there. You see Pip's security detail is there now, surrounding him, and Deacon is still like trying to stop the bleeding and fight these vines that are trying to wrap around him and steal him away. And the bodyguards pull out their guns and say, "Get back and get out of here."
Faye's gonna yell over the guards, "Deacon, you can't do anything for him. Let's go."
No, he's breathing. Faye, Esther, please help him. And you see like Pip's hand is like gripping Deacon, and he's like mouthing something, but you can't make out the words. His eyes are opened wide in shock. Please.
You've got to inspire calm.
I'm gonna inspire calm. No, I'm wanting to get him calmed down and away from him so that Faye can maybe get to him and like use her vines and stuff.
Okay, go ahead and roll a convince. Okay, you get him to calm down. You get the guards to put their guns away. What do you say as you are stretching out your hand with the ring on it?
We just want to help. She's a nurse. Please let her try to help him.
Deacon waves at you. Please come on. And you get up on stage. You see the bullet wound isn't so much in his chest, but it's more in his shoulder. But from where you had seen, it looked like it had shot through his chest.
So Faye's gonna gently like push Deacon back, and act like she's just like talking about the situation, but she's like giving all the information to everybody else. Hey Pip, it's gonna be okay. Just so she squeezes his hand, and it's like everything's okay. Someone's coming, help is coming. It's all gonna be okay. I see you were hit in your left shoulder, but we're gonna stop the bleeding and it's gonna be okay. And she is gonna she has her purse on her now. So she has her dirt.
Sticks a succulent in the wound.
She grabs a cactus and just twists it around.
Here is an air plant. Feel better. No, she's gonna create like a salve. Is that how you say that word?
Yep.
To like stop the bleeding. Guys, I'm totally making all this up. Okay. Plant growth. Herbal infliction? Okay. Meep. 11. Sorry, math was hard.
Okay, change the game. Go ahead and pick 2 tags. And while you're picking those out, Bill, you are rushing out of the service entrance. Do you go straight for the stage?
I see that they're on the stage. So what I'm going to do is look at the hysterical crowd and see if I can see anybody who is not hysterical. So I'm trying to see somebody who's not acting as they should in this situation.
Not really. You see everyone is booking it for the exits. But as you are looking, you see one window pane is shattered. And you look through it and you see the glint of the rifle that Ren saw, but you don't know that he saw it. You just heard him say he's going after the shooter. So you see the glint of the rifle through that break in the window pane.
All right. I'm going to just start making my way outside. I'm going to say, I'll let y'all take care of Pip. I think I see the gunman.
Okay.
So everyone heard me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
Say
sprint.
anything?
Roger.
Right. So you sprint for the door.
I'm surrounded by people. I can't exactly respond.
No, not
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just mean the person who's running towards the same gunman who I don't know is doing it.
So you sprint for the exit door, and as you do, you wump into somebody, and Jeremiah looks down at you and squints, but you don't hesitate. You just keep running, and he watches you run out. Esther, what are you doing?
No.
Oh, yeah. What's your change of game?
I want to reduce the status,
Okay.
and then I want to hide the effect.
Okay.
I can do on a 10+.
Yes, you can. So you make this solution. You start applying it to the salve, or you start applying the salve to the wound. And I'll even say that, like, you work a vine into the wound and, like, wrap around the bullet, and you slowly pull it out. But you're doing all of this, and, like, you almost, like, tell Deacon to, like, look at me. And so, like, you're working with your hands and with the vines while you are talking Deacon down. And he's like, oh, God, he's the future of the city. He's got to live, Faye. He's got to live.
He's going to be okay, Deacon. It's all going to be okay. Stay with me.
Okay. And so you are working on that and pulling out the bullet. Esther, what are you doing?
I'm right there with him, but I'm still like trying to keep Deacon calm. So like we're just like, I don't know.
Okay. So you
Not
like have a
having
hand on his
normal
shoulder or something?
conversation, but yeah, just
Okay.
like she knows what she's doing.
And
We've
as
got
you
your
are
back.
as you're saying this, you look up and you see all these people rushing for the exits. You see Bill like booking it across the way, and as you're looking, you see Carmine Giuseppe slowly making his way to the door. His guards are all around him, and he looks at you, and you look at him, and your eyes lock, and everything seems to become a muted tone. But there's a outline around his eyes, and it's this golden color. And then all of a sudden, you lose your vision, and then you come back to your vision. You're sitting at the table with him. You see Faye talking to Deacon some few feet away. You see the bodyguards, they're back. You have gone back to the conversation you were having with him. This was what Carmine was whispering to you. Your dad and I were very close. I owe him a lot. A lot of what I am now was because of him. I owe Morty a few favors. And, child, I'm sorry to hear about Morty's bar. And you feel something pressed into the palm of your hand. Use that, and your bar will be fixed. And then your vision ends. And you don't realize that you have had your fist clenched this entire time, and you open up your hand, and you see this gold coin. It's hefty and not perfectly made. It looks ancient, almost like a Grecian coin or a Grecian coin, but you don't know if it's Grecian or not. It's just this old, ancient, solid gold coin. It's just in your hand. Rin, you kick open the door to the building that the shooter is on top of. You have started booking it up the spiral staircase. We'll say that as all of this is happening, you are booking it. You hear the door kicked open underneath you as Bill also enters in just a minute behind you.
We're both just.
If only we
you're
had
both-
communicated.
You're both booking it. So you are running up the staircase, and you get to the exit to the roof, and you kick it open. You see somebody running the opposite direction from you to the edge of the roof. You see their silhouette. They are a big, muscular figure. You see a like sniper rifle slung across their back. But you see them making their way towards the edge of the roof.
Stop! Whatever you're doing.
Okay.
I don't know.
So this figure stops.
And I like whip out my gun.
Okay. It's this really cool scene where you like flip your wrist and it all uncollapses and comes together, and you aim it up at him, and the figure slowly turns. And your heart stops as you see the outline of a wolf mask. And the wolf turns to you, and he grabs a sword from his back and slowly draws it out and puts it in the ground, or not in the ground, in the roof, and slowly starts coming toward you.
Bill, gonna need a little help up here.
Where?
Damn it, Bill. And then
Where are you?
You are running up the stairs.
I don't know where you are. You didn't say anything to me.
Bill, I'm on the roof.
Oh, what do you see?
Damn it, Bill.
I don't know what's happening.
There is a man, and he's got a wolf mask, and he's got a nice giant sword.
As you're saying that, I just like burst through the door.
Oh, there he is.
So by that time, boom, Bill pushes past you onto the roof.
This guy again. I just like shield it up,
Okay.
cudgel up.
And as you two are squaring off with the wolf, you hear the distant clap of thunder. And you look up and you see like clouds are starting to roll over the night sky. But the wolf was slowly walking towards Ren, and as it saw you burst through the door as well, it starts sprinting towards you, still dragging the sword across the ground. Sparks start to leap up from the tip of it behind him as he charges towards you.
And Ren pulls the trigger and shoots him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a hit with all you've got.
That's how you dull a blade.
Yeah, I'm mobilizing energy and energy spread shot.
Okay.
Is the cloud that's forming like a legit thunderstorm cloud, or is it like the cloud from one of the many movies, Marvel movies? I think it was maybe Thor. No, maybe it was an Avengers movie where they're like being sucked up into.
It seems to be a legit cloud.
Okay.
A 5 plus.
Holding a sword.
2, so I got a 7.
Okay, so you got 7.
I barely made it.
So hit with all you've got. You get, or you inflict a status equal to tier plus power. So you had a power of 2, so inflicted 2 status on him.
Yep. So he's got 2 status.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can do something else with it.
I'm gonna say I get him good +1. So
Okay.
it's a 3.
Okay, so you boom, fire this shot. It goes straight towards him, but then he just dodges out of the way. He just ducks,
Jesus.
and the spread shot goes over him, and he is going to bring up his sword with both hands and cleave into you. Roll a face danger.
I knew I should have taken a superior position.
So he didn't get the damage? He avoided it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he has like a certain
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
ability.
7? Okay. So you do... What is it? Yeah, you take the status, but at a tier, -1 tier.
Like DBZ, go for a kick. Just he's not there anymore.
You take a /2 status. So you fire it where he was, but he moves with this feral speed and just ducks underneath your shot, grabs a sword with both hands, and cleaves up into your side. You feel the blade cut through your ribs and get wedged in between two as he just holds the blade there with his expressionless face.
See, it would be a slice 3 if he didn't dull his blade. But
Bill?
well, so he's probably literally standing.
Oh yeah, he's like right next to you.
I have a flank on him, right? So that's sneak attack.
This is not D&D.
All right. I'm going to whack him with my cudgel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use basic tattoo weapon, blunt force trauma, and kneecapper.
Please get a dynamite.
Oh! That's 14.
Okay.
Is that a dynamite?
That is dynamite.
Yeah. 12 plus. And he dodges it.
So on a dynamite, you get an outstanding hit. So you choose 3 options from that list. You can defend another, so you protect both yourself and another ally from counterstrike. You hit them hard, increasing the tier of the status by 2. Extreme collateral damage, or control the conflict, you take 2 juice.
I'll do protect me and somebody else.
Okay.
Hit them hard. Oh, do I just choose
You only
one
choose
of those?
one. So you
plus
defend
2
somebody,
others?
and then those 2 from your list.
Okay. Get them good. So plus 1 tier.
Okay.
And I secure a superior position. So I'm behind him. I hit him like in the lower back, yeah, like in a kidney with my cudgel, and then I kind of whip around to his other side and kind of push my shield into him between Zach and myself. So it gives me a superior position, gives him defense, and yeah.
Okay. So you did +1 damage, superior advantage, or superior position, and protect him. Okay. So go ahead and give me one of those status cards. Name it what
Tracking
you want.
cards.
Yeah, tracking cards. And go ahead and so you hit him. How many tags did you have?
I had 3 tags.
3 tags. So you step it up to a 4.
4 tag of get wrecked, idiot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is a 4 tag of get wrecked, idiot. Okay. So you step into him with your cudgel. You hit him. You get underneath him. You push him away from Rin, tearing the sword out of Rin's side. Rin lets out a scream as it does, and you put up your tower shield in between yourself and Rin, and like as you hit him with the cudgel, you saw like his shoulder like slop out of place. Then when you pushed him out of the way, he's standing, across from you with his one hand like hanging down limply by his side and the other holding that sword with his other. Inside, what are y'all doing?
Has the ambulance shown up yet? Or like Javi or anyone?
Not yet. You do hear the wail of sirens in the distance. Most of the people have filtered out of this area, and no more shots have been raining down on people.
I'm not sure we should be here when they get here.
Is he gonna be okay?
I think so, Deacon. I think he's going to be okay. Why don't we get out of the way so that the ambulance can do their job? Or the paramedics. The ambulance doesn't do anything.
The ambulance slams in, runs everyone over.
Yeah, sure.
Esther's like still staring off in the same direction that Carmine was in.
And he is like since left,
yeah,
but you're still staring
He's
at that
gone.
vacant space.
Yeah. I was gonna say those words so they wouldn't come out. Anyways, and she still like has the coin like gripped in her hand, and she's so like she hasn't responded to Faye, and so I assume that Faye is gonna like pull her.
Okay.
And very like, Esther, let's go. Like kind of irritated.
And she kind of jolts and follows Faye.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, back on the roof.
It's his turn, or is it Zach's?
He doesn't get a turn. In City Mess, the enemies only attack you when you don't secure a superior advantage or something like that.
Got him.
Shoot him.
I'm going to say that Ren collapses on the ground, obviously, because he's just been sliced and diced. And just collapses on the ground and is in a prone position and just lets out another shot.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your hit with all you've got.
Again, immobilizing energy in the spread shot.
Okay.
10. I'm going to take a superior position And get them good. So I had another +1.
Step it up on one. Okay. You drop to the ground holding your side. And Bill is in between you and him. So you roll over, you bring up your gun, you fire it, hitting him square in the chest this time. The wolf staggers backwards. And since you chose a superior advantage, he cannot hit you back.
I'm just going to charge at him. Try to hit him again. Same thing.
Okay. As you run with a flick of his wrist, he slices at you, and you automatically take a tier 2 status. But then you follow through with your attack. So as he comes up on you, or as you come up on him, he slashes his sword around, catches you in your thigh. Take a cut 2 status.
Ooh, get freaking wrecked. 14 minus 2, because that would affect my ability to do combat. So 12.
12. Okay. Still dynamite. So you get to choose two of those and
+2. One of them. +1. And then secure a superior position. So it's a total of +3 in a superior position.
Okay.
That's all we're doing.
I mean, it's the thing. It's the thing. So in my mind, I run up and I smash him in his stupid face.
Mm-hmm.
And like off of that hit, I'm gonna use my momentum to like pivot behind him.
Please stay on the mic.
Pivot behind him. I'm trying to act it out. Okay.
Okay.
That's how I
So
do
you
it.
hit him in the face with a cudgel, pivot behind him.
And then like just do the same thing. Just kind of push him with my shield, so I'm like standing a few feet back out of range with my shield raised.
You do that. You slam him in the back. He staggers forward, and falls to the ground.
I'm gonna do the biblical thing. I'm going to behead him, just like David did.
Okay.
I'm not actually gonna behead.
I was Faye.
When he hits him in the face, what happens to his mask?
You do see a small crack appear in the mask that goes over the eye hole and like runs down the snout.
So we're not talking about like a paper mask that like shifts off.
No.
Okay.
This is a hard ceramic mask.
Okay.
So he hits the ground. I look at Rin. Do you have any zip ties or anything? Any binding materials at all?
I've got some vines here. No.
What?
I've been mimicking all your powers this entire time.
I've nabbed them from your apartment. I feel like Ren does not have any zip ties.
All right, I'm taking my bow tie off since I'm wearing a tuxedo, and I'm going to wrap it, pull his wrist behind him, wrap it, tie it, and grab his sword.
Okay.
Or kick his sword away.
Okay, so you kick his sword away, you grab his wrist, start like you grab both his wrists or whatever?
Yeah.
And both tied. Okay. So you flip him over, start tying both of his hands together, and then his head just goes backward. Boom. Hits you in the face, and his hands come out of the tie. One grabs you over his shoulder. His arm almost rotates out of socket, and you hear tendons pop, and he grabs you and throws you to the ground, and he inhumanly uses that momentum to come up and kip up on top of you, and then with his hand that isn't slopping to the side, comes down full force on your knee. You take a broken 4 status.
So do we not face the danger anymore? We just automatically.
Oh
take
yeah.
damage?
Do face a danger
Okay.
to see if you can dodge that.
See if
we
you
just
get
got rid of that part of the
get
game.
destroyed.
I'll accept the cut, but I want to face the danger at some point. I'm gonna say that because I have Tattooed Tower Shield and I have it out, so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna try to even though he just slammed me on the ground, it's still attached to my left hand, so I'm gonna try to drive it down and interfere with that. I think that's all I can use. So
Okay.
8.
Okay. So you do take the status, but at a -1. So what is you take a broken 3 status. So whatever your thing is at now, you step it up to a 3. So you manage to wedge your shield in between his fist and your knee, but the force of his arm or fist coming down on the shield still pushes it into your knee. You still feel the crunch of your tattoo shield against your knee. But he is looking very rough. I guess let's cut back inside. What are y'all doing?
Faye was dragging Esther away, and Esther finally kind of snapped out of it, and now they're running to the SUV.
We're in the SUV. Are there any weapons in the SUV?
There's Faye's gun.
That's not true. Faye's gun's in.
Esther's gun
is in
the
Faye's
apartment.
Yeah.
There's Faye's apartment in the SUV.
Oh.
Nope.
See.
What did you say, Jaime?
No, that's cheating.
It
we can
has.
flashback.
Don't we have a Glock in
We
the...
could do flashback where there's some kind of. I mean, I think it would make sense to have some kind of
Yeah, we have this whole like
weapon,
elaborate
possibly.
lab.
You press a
Right.
button and the armory pops up and there's a grenade.
Maybe not an armory, but
not
at least
that, but like
least a
just like
handgun.
one small backup something.
Like, it's your SUV. It would not be out of the question for you to have a gun in, like, the glove box. Like, I know we'd have to flash back.
Yeah,
But
I'm just trying to think of like, I think in like preparing the vehicle for this night, I think that they may have, because like we have weapons, Ren and Esther, and Bill has his tattoos, and so I think it might make sense for there to be some sort of weapon that they decided to stash just in case Faye needed something more than her vines.
Okay.
Depending
So
on how the night went.
You want to flash back to like
When-
them putting a gun in the glove box?
Yeah. So let's flash back to we're all sitting around the table making the plan, and the guys are like, by the way, if it comes to it, there's this gun in this compartment for Faye.
Okay. So go ahead. You get 1 juice, and I would assume you use that juice to give yourself a handgun 1 story tag.
so we jump in the SUV. Boys, where are you?
You wrote on the wrong side.
You're gonna have to talk. I'm in excruciating pain.
We're on the rooftop across the way from the gala.
On our way, hang in there. I don't drive, but...
It's just like walking distance from the gala.
Well, but we figured we're going to want the SUV.
Yeah, we're gonna need to escape though. So
Okay.
Okay.
we jump in the car and Esther drives.
Okay, so you
back.
drive up to
Assuming
the...
that there's not like a million people like in the parking lot that we would have
You
to run
mow
over.
down all
No,
the
because
people.
we were back in that alley.
That's
You
true,
do
yeah,
you
so
do kind of whip around to where that building is, and as you get out of the car, you can hear the clank of metal and fighting happening from the top. You can see like blue flashes appearing from the rooftop as Ren's gun is firing, but you can see the evidence of the fight happening up on the roof.
We run in, yes. And I'm gonna... So I'm assuming it's like big building and it's like those stairs where there's like the center.
Yes.
I'm gonna straight up wrap a vine around Esther and Faye and like all the way up.
You could do it on the outside of the building
Yeah, that,
too.
I don't wanna be
that's what I
seen.
was thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because we're in bright, sparkly dresses.
Yeah.
I'm in black.
Well, you're in black, but we're in noticeable dresses.
Okay, I will say that you don't have to roll for that just because it's so cool. So a vine bursts through the ground, wraps around your waists, and starts carrying you up. Esther is seemingly not okay with this because she's gripping the vine with both hands. But Faye is like in this hero stance with like one
And
hand
Esther-
behind her and like the
Esther-
other holding the top of the vine going
and
straight
Esther looks
up.
at her. I really wish you would warn me before you do shit like this.
But it's so much more fun this way.
Okay,
Esther gags a little.
so back up to the roof. What's happening?
I'm going to say Ren takes another shot.
Okay.
And so Ren, I guess, like, pulls the hammer back on his gun to reload it, and then just fires another shot, and he's like, I'm so sorry, Bill. And just goes again.
Okay.
Really hoping that I don't hit him.
Why would you even say that?
Because David's going to make it happen anyways.
No, now you put the idea in his head.
But it was already there.
It was already there. So
Go ahead, roll. Hit with all you've got.
Then
Yep.
maybe you don't fire. Go ahead. No, we're fine.
12.
12. All right. You got a
Dynamite.
dynamite.
I take a superior position, get them good, and +1. So I'm going to say control the conflict. And so with the 2 juice, I imagine I shoot him because he's on top of Bill. And I shoot him, and it knocks him off of Bill. And the 2 juice is used to, like, keep him on the ground, essentially. Or, like, knock him to the ground so that he's, I don't know, a step or 2 away from Bill and is separated from us.
Okay. Okay, so you fire that. The blue energy crashes into him, and he flies off of Bill, goes skidding across the ground, and you spin those 2 juice to give him like a stay down status or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe collapse status or...
Okay.
Stunned or something, yeah.
So the blast hits him, and he's already has one hand like hanging limply, and the other he wrenched back to grab Bill in the first place, and so he just goes skittering across the ground, and the blue energy like arcs across all his armor, and he does in fact stay down. About this time, you hear this as the door is burst open by this giant vine and uncurls around Faye and Esther, and now they are standing there on top of the roof. The fight over.
Thanks, so glad you guys came here in time.
Esther shoots him.
Faye's like way too excited about her little like Superman moment that she's just like,
Esther kind of is like stumbling up there, and she's like, oh.
Faye, can you tie him down? Just some extra security.
absolutely.
I imagine the door like is ripped off the hinges though as she like barrels through.
Player growth. 12.
Okay.
Not a lie. I will show it to you.
That's all.
Nice.
I know.
The 12's tonight are
Yeah, you're rolling
We
some
needed
killing
12.
it.
master dynamites. Okay. No, change the game. You get 3 juice. What do you want to do with it?
tie the crap out of it.
Yeah. So
Banana leaf and all.
Demask him.
create a story tag, so tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Prolong the effect.
Okay.
Scale up the effect, so instead of my like usual vines, it's gonna be like thicker vines.
Like rope.
Okay, so it's tied up 2, and you want to prolong it.
Yep.
Okay. So you send that very same vine, the thick vine that carried the 2 of you up, to wrap around him. It curls him up, turning it over almost like he's caught in a spider web and like it's turning him over. But it like wraps him all up. You have him there.
We need to find out who this guy is.
And both Bill and Ren like are like, take his mask off as we're writhing in pain.
That's right. I forgot you were injured.
So he's like really tied down.
Yes, yes.
Esther's gonna walk up and take his mask off.
Okay. You grab his mask. There's a leather strap that goes around the back of his head, and you grab it and you slowly take it off. And you see this gaunt face, almost shriveled. Even though he is not moving, his eyes are darting back and forth, looking at all of your faces. You do not know who this person is.
Who are you?
That's what I was gonna say.
He looks at you. He does not answer.
I form a very torturous looking device. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. No, but I do that.
Okay. So
pull out your bludgeon.
form this, sharp, curved blade. I will say that at this time, like, the rain has started to slowly drop down on the roof.
We asked who you were.
He looks at you. He does not answer.
Can you speak?
He does not answer.
I kick him in the head. Just kidding.
Guys, I think we need to get out of here. I think they're going to be looking everywhere. What are we going to do with him?
Throw him in the back of the van.
At this time, you hear a loud clap of thunder, and there's this bright flash of light, and the rain starts coming down even harder.
We've got to get off this roof.
We have to take him with us.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. Bill, are you with us?
I don't know. I have some dark thoughts. out of game. Oh, I want to kill this guy.
I'm a
But I
little
don't know if
concerned about taking him with us, though.
Yeah.
Because we
he's
already look really
very
suspicious.
dangerous.
Like, with all this stuff. And, like, I've called Hobby, so maybe I can just be like, hey, he's tied up on the roof.
Is City of Mist, like, what kind of game is this? Am I allowed to just kill people? Is
I
that
mean,
is
yeah.
that
I mean,
it's part of the
frowned upon?
Yeah.
We've killed people before.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to kill you. That's kind of what I want to do. Does he respond at all to that?
His eyes dart over to you. He does not say anything.
Does he have any kind of facial expression?
I guess really it's very blank, very expressionless.
I'm picturing him as tape face.
I'm thinking Emperor Palpatine.
I'm gonna grab his face and like open his mouth and look and see if he has a tongue.
He does.
That's a weird thing to say damn it about, but I was hoping that's why he wasn't communicating with us.
Guys, what if he's not really living? Then killing him wouldn't matter.
Well, we could try out and see.
I think we just need to go.
I can't leave my vines here. They're here and at Pip. I can't have two vines somewhere.
And we can't just
People
leave.
don't know about your vines, though.
Well, no, but they know about a flower crown. And if they put enough nature stuff together, and isn't it weird to have people tied up in vines all over the city?
This is the guy that we've been chasing this entire time. He nearly killed all of us at the water treatment plant.
I think if we leave him, he will disappear.
Yeah.
And then he'll want to kill us all the more. Because he knows what we look like already.
There's another clap of thunder, and the whole roof seems to shake. And you hear a voice. He only does what I tell him. And you all four turn around as you see a portal closing, and the wizard is there with a red hood over their face. They have their kabuki demon mask. In his hand is a staff, like archaic armor and all that stuff. And he looks at the four of you and says, "It is time for you to go." And he smacks his staff against the roof, and all of a sudden, you feel your body start to lift up off the ground.
I form springs on my feet just in case.
Okay. You start to form springs. And the wizard starts making his way over to where the wolf is. You have been a thorn in our side. A thorn that can be removed.
Is he talking to us or the wolf?
No, he's looking up at all four of you as you're like, whoa, whirling around in the middle of the air.
You haven't been very peachy yourself.
We can all work this out, can't we? And then Ren shoots him.
Can't, like, do we have
You can.
I mean, I have my weapon on me.
I can't do can't do anything floating.
Go ahead and roll a hit with all you've got.
Okay.
And a -3 for the floating thing, because it's really hard for you to aim as you are floating uncontrollably through the air.
Well, that didn't work.
Okay. So you shoot very awkwardly, and he waves his staff in front of him, and like a lightsaber bolt, it bounces off of him and goes straight back to you. Roll a face danger and take away -5 for... Well, no. Just take away -3 for the floating.
-3 for the floating?
I feel like
So now
floating
no-
would be helpful in this case.
It wouldn't be helpful because it's going right back to where it came from. And if he could dodge out of the way, or if he had like any control of his body, he could just roll out of the way. But right now he's just literally just floating in midair.
Well,
Okay. So what were you hitting him with? A 2? Okay.
Yeah.
So you take a 2 status as well. And so that sliced will change to a...
3.
Yeah, step it up by 2 ticks, so it's now 3. And then let's change that sliced. Thank you for scribbling that right in my ear. I don't know, what should we change sliced to?
Got him.
I'll just put slice / whatever's, like I put cut / broken.
Yeah.
Shot.
In
Always injured.
pain. So the same energy that you have shot so many people with hits your body, and you feel the energy course through you. And
This is not a fun feeling.
the wizard looks at all 4 of you and says, "I hope we do not meet again." And with a flick of his staff, the 4 of you go flying through the air. You feel your weightlessness drop, and all 4 of you start to plummet down to the cement below. End of episode. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Mistconceptions. We will be back with our next episode on July 2nd. Do not forget to stick around for a geek out during the credit session that we're going to have shortly after I finish talking here. And also don't forget to go to Patreon and support us there so we can keep making this show. Every bit counts. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, our social media accounts. You can tweet at us, like our pictures, talk to us, give us advice, tell us about your woes, anything you want to do. That's what social media is for. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com. And if you want the core rulebook for your gaming shelf and your gaming table, when you check out, don't forget to use the discount code MistConceptionsFan, all one word, all lowercase, to get $5 off of your purchase. The music you heard at the beginning of this episode, and we'll hear here in a little bit, was composed by Aaron Wharton, and you can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. That's all for this week's episode of Misconceptions. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking the show. Please remember, we want to keep making this show in the future, and only you can help make that possible. But until our next episode, keep it nerdy, y'all.
Quite intense.
It was really intense, but it was really good. You did a great job.
Yeah, that was good.
I hate that you're such a good MC.
Thank you.
I'm also just the.
I hate how y'all keep...
I don't know about y'all.
Man, I guess I did some damage to y'all, but like I changed the wolf, I made him different,
You made
and y'all
him
still
stronger.
just... Bill's too good at fighting.
Well, no, I rolled like 3
We just
11s.
yeah,
that fight.
the dice were on our side tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Even Ren rolled it. I think he rolled like an 11 as well.
Yeah, and one
And I got a
dynamite.
12.
Yeah, I hit him with
The
3
dice were not on
dynamites.
Esther's side, but that's really
Yeah.
3 dynamites. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm surprised he's
Man.
not dead.
Also, screw you for feigning death. You scumbag. I was just like, I gotta get this guy tied up. I don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
Rex knee.
All right, so let's do some geeking out during the credits. You can think about which 3 of these questions you want to answer. How has your crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? And which of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place?
Do we have to answer all 3?
No.
Only one.
Okay.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Can you read the first question again?
How has the crew grown this session?
All right. So I don't have to talk in Bill's voice, right?
No.
All right. So I'm just kidding.
But I will anyway.
No, I think this was a really good session for the crew. Sometimes we're out of sync, and that wasn't the case tonight. Even with like little miscommunication hiccups, we were I was really hoping and thinking whenever I was on the ground pinned down that Zach would like get him off of me, and that's like exactly what he did. I didn't have to say it because I don't want to say it and like interfere with someone else's thought process and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like under crisis, we grew to trust each other, and like we just found roles to fill and filled them. Like I saw that they were up on the stage working with Pip, so I trusted them to handle the situation, and I went to take care of another situation, and then they came immediately after and backed us up. It was just I think the chemistry was really on point, and it's looking good.
Good. Yeah, I would agree. A lot of good teamwork this session. So on our crew theme, which is Conspiracy Busters, is the one y'all picked. Mm-hmm. So you can recover a burnt crew power tag, which I don't think we've ever burnt one, or we can mark attention on our crew theme. And I think we already have one attention ticked.
Yeah.
So do you want to give it another attention?
I think so.
Okay. So step that up to 2 attention.
Boom.
All right, who else?
I'll go. I feel like Ren has, as annoying as he is all the time, I feel like he grew a lot closer to Bill. Like he was, like both of them were like, I mean, Bill was irritated with like how Ren was with like the SUV and stuff, but like we've done a lot more hanging out and a lot more just like duo battle action. That like I'm right there with Bill. Where it was just like, and also we were rolling really well, but just this dynamic duo of fighting the wolf that we were just like spot on with protecting each other, or like how he jumped in front of me to defend me when the wolf was about to unleash and probably kill me. So I feel like Bill and Bren have grown a lot closer.
Okay. So that sounds like you want to give Bill a help point on your character card. Okay. So add 1 help point. How many help points do you have on Bill?
Bill's got +3 help points.
Wow. Okay. And remember, I think for the most part, our geek out during the credits have been very positive with our interactions with everybody. Remember, you can give each other hurt points, which in some cases might be the best thing for them. Like, because hurt points can stop them from doing something reckless or going down a path that would be disastrous. Help points wouldn't hurt, or help points wouldn't be useful in that point, because help points is like giving them a boost, helping them get over some obstacle or something like that. So sometimes hurt points can be good, even if they do momentarily hurt one of your crewmates. But yeah, I agree with Bill and Ren working pretty well this session. Tessa, Carrie, what about y'all?
We'll give it a negative spin.
Okay.
Clearly Esther and Ren are not getting along. Esther really just gets really frustrated, and they don't operate the same way, because Esther's very much like she was trained to fight, investigate, whatever, and he's just got a different mindset, and it's causing a strain on their friendship or teamwork or whatever you want to say. So
Okay. So you want to give Rin a hurt point?
yes.
Okay.
So now he has 2.
So now he has 2 hurt points from
I have a
from
hurt
Esther.
point on Ren too.
Yeah. So if Rin needs to be stopped, Esther is the Rin stopper so far.
She's done it before.
Yes, I
Yeah.
It's true.
I think so like with how has the crew grown this session, there's kind of like 2 things going on. So one, I think like Jaime was saying, like we're working really well together. But and I don't want it to be like just about Faye and Esther because I don't want to give Esther a hurt point. But I also think that there's a little bit of like confusion going on for Faye because Esther seems to be like withdrawing some, and Faye like can tell she's distracted and can tell like she's not really into it but can't figure out what's going on. So Faye's like excited that everybody's working together, but she's also kind of like half worried a lot. So I don't know whether to put that in the crew thing or because I don't think it's a hurt necessarily. It's just a distraction.
Well, the question is, if you're wanting to pursue, hurt or hurt point, or help or hurt point, who has had the most impact on you this session? So has Esther, for good or worse, did she have an impact on you? Did she have the most impact on you out of all the other characters? And was that impact good or was it bad?
It was both.
Okay. It does say you can answer one or more of the following questions. So do you want to take a hurt and a help point on Esther?
That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. Because they worked really well together and, like, still got stuff done. But, like, Faye's worried about her and feels a little like she's kind of pushing her out.
Okay.
So you negate the feelings?
No, so now she has, what, 2...
I have +2 on help and
minus one hurt. So your help and hurt points do not cancel each other out.
Oh, okay.
Your help and hurt points are just extra juice that you can use. Your help juice is to help somebody, give them a boost, give them an asset, something like that. Your hurt juice is something like burning their tag. So if Esther's like about to shoot somebody that you need to interrogate because she's super angry, you use your hurt point to burn her revolver tag, like hit it out of her hand or something. And you get that many help and hurt points per session. So that would be an example of like using a help or hurt point.
Gotcha.
I was about to straight kill that wolf dude. Somebody would have to stop.
Well,
That would have, yeah. I was interested in if you were going to do that and, like, how the reaction would be.
maybe you'll get the chance to do it next time on Misconceptions.
Kill him.
That was so close.
All right, well, hope you had fun. It's super late.
Woo.
Good job.
So.